Good day everyone, I'll be discussing now AutoCAD 2015 and its new features. Let me start by its create page. For 2015, we have a new launchpad here. This is the create page which has 3 columns: the get started, the recent documents, and the connect. For the get started, of course, we can start a new drawing by clicking the start drawing or by choosing one of the available templates. While for the recent documents are the last 9 drawings. You can view this in different ways. While for the connect, we can use the connect column for us to be able to access the online resources. Now we can go directly to its new interface. AutoCAD introduced the modern dark interface. Why? Because for the users to be able to be more health conscious, especially on their eyes. Because if the background is in light colored, the light will come into the user's eyes and may give some eye strain to it. But if the user is used to its traditional view, he can always go back. How do we do it? Just right click on the workspace, click on options, look for the display tab, click on it. Under window elements, the user can see there the color scheme, and just click on the drop down menu, click on light, apply, and then OK, and the traditional view will be visible. But as for me, I'm comfortable with the modern dark interface, so I'll do it again. I'll just right click on the workspace, click on options, display tab, window elements, color scheme, dark, apply, and OK. That's how we change the modern dark interface. Next would be the layer properties. Users of AutoCAD, especially the lower versions or the previous versions, they're used to the counting of layers, which is 1, 10, 11, 12. But for AutoCAD 2015, this has been enhanced. This is now patterned on how we count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will show you how to change it. I'll just type in sort order. Since it is set to 1, that means my setting is now on the new way of counting of layers, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But for demo purposes, I will change it to 0 and show you the previous way of counting of the layers. So you can see here, it is 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 2 is followed by 20, and so on and so forth. As for me, I'll change it to the new way. I'll type in sort order again and set it to 1. Once I set it to 1, I'll just click on the name twice, and you will notice that the layers counting is now set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those are the added features of user interaction. Thank you for listening for AutoCAD 2015. Hello again. The next topic that I will be discussing is under improved graphics. AutoCAD 2015 introduced more advanced feature for us users to improve the graphics of our drawings. I will be discussing the line display, selection, command preview, cursor budgets, and the model space viewports. First, for the line display. For the line display, some users are used to drawings that has jagged lines and all. But for AutoCAD 2015, since this has been enhanced, these crooked and jagged lines can be lessened by the use of the smooth line display. First, we can see here some crooked lines, the red and the blue and this white line. How do we change it and make it smoother? All we have to do is go to the status bar, look for the hardware acceleration or the graphics config, just right click on it, click on graphics performance, and check smooth line display box. Click on OK, and you will notice that a line that has jagged and crooked parts earlier is now smoothened. That is one feature in improved graphics. The next would be under selection. For the selection, we're used with the crossing in the rectangular way of selecting objects. But for AutoCAD 2015, since the graphics has been improved, AutoCAD 2015 introduced the lasso selection, which is available to other software or applications. How do we enable it? Okay, right click on the workspace, click on options, look for the selection tab. Under selection mode, look for the allow, press and drag for lasso checkbox. Just tick the box, click on apply, and then OK. Now let's try if the lasso selection is now enabled.
Preview.
Great, the lasso selection is now OK. The next thing that I'll be discussing under improved graphics is the command preview and cursor wedges. For the command preview, what it does, it will show you what will be the output before committing the command. How do we do it? By the way, I'll be discussing command preview and cursor wedges at the same time. For this rectangular object, I want to rotate it. So what I'm going to do is type in rotate, or you can choose the icon here on top if you are an icon based user. Rotate, click on the object, press center, choose the base point. You will see that there is another rectangular object which is moving. That is how command preview works. It shows you what will happen before you execute the command. If I click on enter here, this will be the output. And you will notice that there is an icon on the cross. That icon, which is like counterclockwise, is one of the examples of cursor wedges, which means we are trying to rotate the rectangular object that we have. The next thing that I'll be discussing is the model space viewports. Model space viewports is important if we are doing some isometric drawings. We can click on the viewport controls, viewport configuration list, and I'll choose 4 equal. For model space viewports, the one enclosed with the blue box is the one which is enabled. The good thing about viewports is we can change each view. I'll choose sketchy here, and I'll change it to SE isometric. While for this one, I'll choose X-ray and front. For this one, I'll choose hidden and not width. While for this one, I'll choose 2D wireframe and top. But what will happen if I want another 2? What am I gonna do? For AutoCAD 2015, since they enhanced the model space viewports, you can see here the plus sign or one of the sides of each view. For example, here, I'll just click on the plus sign and drag on it, and then another viewport will be available for me. The same thing here, I'll just click the plus sign and add another view. Again, what if it will be hard for me to look for the plus sign because it is somehow small? What I'm gonna do is just press Ctrl, click on the line or one of the sides, and then drag. Again, press Ctrl, click on the line, and then drag. And that's how we add model space viewports in AutoCAD 2015. Hi everyone, again this is Chess. Now I'll be discussing the things that are somehow more concentrated on documentation or detailing. This is somehow important because we can see here the labels, the measurements, the dimensions of our drawing, which is I know is important. For AutoCAD 2015, since documentation has been enhanced, it is now patterned with the word processors which is available now. Let me show you how to use it. First, with the M-text, I'll zoom in for us to be able to see more clearly. Since it is now patterned with the word processors which are available for today, AutoCAD 2015 has now improved its spelling. It now has autocorrect, auto-numbering, auto-bulleting, the subscript, the superscript, all that stuff and more. Let me try first with the autocorrect. For example, I'll type in raised. I'll just click on enter and it will be automatically corrected. Next, for the auto-numbering, number 1. Why is it that it is now number 3 instead of number 1? Because for word processor, numbers can be continued or can be started again. For me to be able to click on number 1, I'll just click on start and it will be number 1 again. I'll type here bed. Then for number 2, I need to type in sofa. Automatically number 2 is available. And then number 3 will be there again. What about for the superscript and the subscript? Superscript and subscript are important, most especially if we are pertaining to like the area or the water, or for example, I will type in 8 square meters. 2 here should be superscript. I'll just click on superscript icon and automatically it will be changed to superscript. And for subscript, for example, I'll type in H2O. So for subscript, click on subscript. These are just some of the examples of the enhancement when it comes to documentation. Another thing is for the labels of the drawing, or we call it text align. For example, these 3 labels need to be aligned. What I'm going to do is type in text align, select the objects, press on enter, point. I'll choose the edge here. As you can see here, command preview works because it shows me the output before I click on enter. When I click on it and I want to execute the command, the bedroom, living room, kitchen, and dining texts are now aligned. And those are the M-text enhancements, which is now patterned with the word processors for AutoCAD 2015. The next thing is for the drafting enhancement. We are used to fillet corners or objects that are connected as long as it is an edge or it is aligned. But for AutoCAD 2015, even polyline arc can be now filleted. Let me show you how. I'll type in fillet. I'll just click on this edge. See, the command preview works again and it shows me that this will be the output if I click on this other end, and that's it. That's the polyline arc fillet. The next thing is for the drafting enhancement or for the dimensions. Normally for AutoCAD, for the previous versions, once you change the layers, the format of the dimensions will follow the latest layer that we execute. But for AutoCAD 2015, with the use of dim continue or the continue mode, the last format that we chose will be followed by the dimensions that we will be doing, even though we change the layers at any time. We just need to click on the continue mode. Let me show you how. We go to annotate. Here under dimension style, we can choose any. Me, I'll be choosing this one. I'll click first here. Okay. Of course, dimension. I'll choose linear. I'll get the center and the center of the outer circle. And that's the format. And then I'll change the layer. Let's try to change the layer properties. I'll choose a different color. Let me choose this one with the blue color. Close this one. Okay. Then I'll go back to annotate. Instead of clicking on dimension, I'll be clicking continue. And the dimension format still the same, even though I've changed the layers. Another thing is for the isometric. For the isometric, what we normally do is type in a command or reconfigure it for us to be able to change the view. But for AutoCAD 2015, isometric drawings is just a click away. It introduced an icon available here in the status bar. With just a click away, we can change our view. I'll choose ISO top. I'll type in P line to try. Of course, I need to be in ortho mode. And that's it. That's for the top. And I want to change to isoplane left. Again, P line, click here, and automatically the view has been changed. The same if I click on isoplane right. And these are the enhancements for the documentation in Good day everyone, and this is Jess. I'll be discussing now the enhanced feature. Type in Orbit Auto Target. It is set to 0. I'll try to set it to 1. 1 here for Orbit Auto Target is the normal or the traditional view. I'll type in 3D Orbit. Then I'll try to rotate. The circle at the middle is what we call the pivot point. So I'll try to click here. Still the same. It doesn't change. Even though I click on other sides or other parts of the drawing. As I've said earlier, for the Orbit Auto Target, the enhancement here is like I can click anywhere, and the one that I click is the one that will be the pivot point of the drawing. Let me try. I'll type in Orbit Auto Target, then set it to 0. 0 is the new variable for it. I'll type in 3D Orbit, and then I'll try to click here on the room on top. That becomes my pivot point. If I click here, that will become my pivot point. The same thing here. That is one of the enhancements under the design of AutoCAD 2015. Another thing is the reality capture. We do recap, or we use recap when we are renovating a room. For example, this room we will be using this one, or we will renovate this room, what are we gonna do is like put in a 3D scanner, and the image which is in it will be open in AutoCAD, and then we can use the point cloud manager to manage the regions in the drawing. For example, this one is one of the point cloud files. I'll open the point cloud manager. These are the regions that are available here. Once I turn off one, either of which some of the rooms will be off. But if I want to turn on everything or see everything, I'll just click on it and all regions will be available. For example, I will be concentrating on one room, which is the wood shop. For the wood shop, I will turn off the other points and wood shop will be left. I'll zoom in. It is somehow pixelated. What I want to do is make it more realistic or visible. I can change the level of details of points, or I can even change the point size to fill in the gaps. Okay, it depends on how you want to use it. And also you can change the view for this one. Go back to to the other view. If I click on the point cloud manager, it will be closed now. For example, I want to search inside the room using the point cloud file. What I will do is choose one room. I'll enable first everything, then I'll choose one room. For example, I'll be choosing room 6. I will use the full navigation wheel for me to walk inside the room. Okay, if it is somehow pixelated, you can just adjust the point size and the level of detail. It is somehow pixelated, you can just adjust again the point size or the level of details. It depends on you, on how many points would you like to put in or include in your drawing, because for AutoCAD 2015, 25 million points is now available, unlike for the previous versions which only has 10 million points. We can include some object. For example, we can input objects here. I'll go back to original plan. For example, I'll go inside one room. For now, I'll be choosing room 9. So what am I going to do? I'll insert one object. Click on insert, light, click on the base point, insert the object. Okay, this is the object. Then I'll try to put it here. And you can see now, or you can view now the output if you want to put some lights on this side. Another thing with the use of the drawing, I will go back to the original plan. I can also put annotations. I'll just click on linear, click here, choose which part to measure, and automatically the measurement or the dimension will be here. With the drawing, I can also do cropping. For example, I want to remove this part. I can always choose with rectangular, polygonal, or circular cropping. If I choose on rectangular, of course, it will show me a rectangular object. But for AutoCAD 2015, we can choose which points to be remained or to be eliminated. We can click on inside or inside the rectangular object or outside the rectangular crop. Again, for example, I click on polygonal, enter. If I click on outside, the outside will remain. If I click on inside, inside object or inside points will be retained. And that is how the reality capture works in AutoCAD 2015.